rises to its glory, and in beauty gives its rays. I stay surrounded, for in you I live and move, have my being. Do I love you, my one I do? There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one. If I feel afraid for my future, or believe that no one really cares, still I'm perfectly held in your hands, my one, my one. So whether I ascend in bright ecstasy or fall in dark despair, I'm there surrounded, for there's nowhere where your love can't find me. Do I love you, my one I do? There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one, my one. Baruch atah Adonai, my one. Blessed are you, all living one, my one. There is nothing else to love, from below to above, my one. Hear all of creation sing to my love, my one. Do I love you, my one I do? There is none to love but you. There is nothing that can undo my love for you, my one. My one, my one, my one. So let's just stay in this reverential state for a little bit. Let's go to the well together, to the upper room, to the aditum, the inner temple. I invite you to, if you feel comfortable, close the outer eye. And again, as much as are able and feel comfortable, set the feet flat on the floor, uncross the legs, knees approximately shoulder width apart. And again, as much as you are comfortable in doing so and able to do so, sitting erect, but with holding no rigidity or tension in the body temple. Hands resting on the lap, palms up, palms down is fine. And let's take a deep cleansing, unifying breath together. Let's inhale. and release. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale. Release. And once more, inhale. And release. So we are going to employ the divine power of imagination. And I invite you to see, with that divine power, an orb about the size of a baseball. It is resting in the air just above the top of your head. Let's get it there, yeah? And we'll add a little bit more to it. We see that that orb is white in color. But not just white, the most brilliant white that we can see, and bordering on too bright for our eyes. But there it is. And now it's spinning, faster and faster and faster, that white orb. Take a breath now, and release. And now I invite you to see a second orb, resting just below your feet, between and below. This orb is also about the size of a baseball, yet it's actually made up of 4 different colors, but we're going to see it as black. That orb is also spinning faster and faster and faster. Let's take another breath together. Inhale. Release. And now, you're noticing that the orb above is growing a bit bigger. Its circumference is widening. It is still spinning. It is still a brilliant, dazzling white, but it's most definitely growing in size. And we notice that the top of our head, and now down to our eyebrows and down to the ears, now becoming enveloped in that white brilliance. Allow that orb to grow larger so that it begins to surround our shoulders, upper torso. And simultaneously, we're beginning to notice that the orb below is acting in a like fashion. It's beginning to grow in size. Still spinning, still a deep, rich, beautiful black. That orb is spinning and growing in size. Its circumference is expanding, and now it is enveloping our feet, ankles, shins, lower leg, knees, moving on up to the hips area and the lower abdomen. And now see both orbs enveloping your entire body. And what was once white and what was once black is now gray. Beautiful, luminous gray, spinning completely around us. Now notice, however, that here in this combined body of 2 orbs, you feel settled, comfortable. No, not just comfortable, home. You are gently and securely held. Feel the presence of love embracing every square centimeter of your skin, holding you securely with strength and gentleness, suspended in this beautiful, luminous gray. No concerns, no cares, no anticipation of what's to come, and no thought about what has gone before. Perfectly held. And so I'll invite you to take a deep breath with me, and then on the out breath, we will intone together, Amen. We will intone it, so we will hold the syllables out. Amen, that type of thing. So let's take a deep breath together and intone. Amen. And if you have closed your outer eye, you may gently reopen. And let's bring our consciousness right back to where we are sitting here in terra firma. So how you feeling? Amen. El Melech Ne'eman. The strong sovereign one, the living one, God, seals our invocation. I'm going to come over there. Cool? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad I printed these out with large letters so I don't need my peepers. I don't need my cheaters. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Ray Davis. I am so grateful and happy and excited to be here this morning. This is my first time here.
Yes.
I know that I visited Carlsbad at some point in my history, but I can't remember when. It just looks familiar. It's awfully pretty city. And the temperature here today is about the same as it will be today in where we live. We're in Los Angeles. Lori, that's Lori over there. Say hi, Lori. Yeah. So, just a little bit about me. I am a singer-songwriter, as you know. I was, but just a little bit back. I was raised in Los Angeles, California, actually raised in Compton, California. So I'm straight out of Compton. This is the truth. And come from a strong Christian background. So I'm very comfortable in unity communities. The specific denomination, we were Protestant, denomination called Seventh-day Adventism. Anybody familiar with Seventh-day Adventism? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we were the weirdos on the block going to church on Saturday. And man, I was fully immersed in that stuff. Went to mostly Seventh-day Adventist schools, including graduating from the Seventh-day Adventist University in Riverside, California. I taught for a number of years in Oakland, California at a Seventh-day Adventist school. I was a music teacher. And, you know, I also spent, I'm fast-forwarding a few places. I spent about a little over 11 years as a corporate trainer. I was in learning and development. And that's all to say, to tell you something. I'm actually more of a teacher than I am a preacher.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you do, because that's what you got. Since 2000, so I was working as a corporate trainer until I had a kind of spiritual trauma. Yeah, I thought life was about to kill me. I was earning more money than I'd ever earned, doing stuff that I thought that I enjoyed, but I was becoming more and more and more and more miserable. Just miserable. Until I found New Thought Teachings. Started attending Agape International Spiritual Center. And since 2008, I've been singing my original high vibe songs, all based on my spiritual work. Revelations, insights, growth, you know. With its, in order for something to grow, something's got to be killed, right? So we get both of those things. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole point of my music. I don't do a lot of covers. You see me in a club, I'm going to be doing high vibe. Yeah, absolutely. So That's been since 2008. But starting in maybe 2012, about 10 years ago, I began to I started becoming involved in teachings that are more like the Kabbalah. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more. We'll talk about that in a bit. I have so much I want to share with you this morning. Okay. I know, but trust me, I've timed this. So, I will condense it in the amount of time. Here's the thing. What I'm giving you is really just the tip of the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. There's so much that you can explore in this space. So, our talk title today is One Between the Bookends. You actually experienced one of the first bookends, that first song called My One. The bookends for me have been two songs I wrote in 2019, just before the start of the pandemic. I received two wonderful songs, including that first one, that are speaking about the same thing, but from two different perspectives. Speaking about one from two different perspectives. And what I've been contemplating recently, though, is what's between those perspectives. So what is between the bookends? Let's start with an idea of one. This is from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Y'all familiar with that book, right? Great book. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful resource. And it says, God the One is the origin of all things and the cause of all things. God is the living Spirit Almighty, the only presence, cause, power, and substance. As you join up mentally with the supreme power, it becomes active and potent in your life. So what is one? What we're talking about is one. There's one power, there's one life, there's one mind, there's one consciousness, there's one will. So that eliminates the ideas of separate wills. I don't really have a separate will. It's the one will expressed through my will. Does that make sense? Oh, y'all know this. This is elementary to you. I can already tell. I'm so glad. So the talk today is really expanding on and exploring the ageless wisdom teachings undergirding the songs. Because again, I don't write anything that's not based on my own experience, studies, revelations, etc. So, one, beyond human comprehension, even beyond human imagination. One, knowable through what it does. This one presence, this one power cannot be known in the same way that I know you. It cannot be known in the same way that I know myself. It can be known by what it does. Psalms 19, 1 through 6, especially the first verse, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament declares its handiwork. So we see and track the nature and the activity of the living one by observing its creation, by observing ourselves, by observing how we work with other people, how we deal with elements on the planet. All of this gives us ideas over time and through experimentation, the very nature of the living one. So, that's one. Let's talk about the bookends. For the bookends, we're going to work a little bit with Kabbalah or Kabbalah. You say Kabbalah, I say Kabbalah, you say... Anyone here familiar with Kabbalah? Familiar with this symbol here? Oh, wonderful. We could talk so much. So a little Kabbalah. This diagram is called the Etz HaChaim, or the Tree of Life. And it is perhaps the most important symbol used in Kabbalistic studies. Now, what is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is received teachings, or other people refer to it as the mysticism of Judaism, or Jewish mysticism. It is also applicable to the Western mystery studies upon which unity, along with all of New Thought, is based. So this is kind of getting under the hood of our New Thought teachings. You dig? Yeah, all right. You dig, yeah. Digging is good. It's real good. So that's what this thing is. It's gorgeous, isn't it? All right. The Tree of Life, the Etz HaChaim, symbolizes all of creation, both what is created, and the process of creation. I want you to notice, I'm going to get a little closer. Notice that it consists of 10 orbs in sequential order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From above to below. Each of these symbolizes a different stage of evolution. And I can tell you that there is nothing that exists that doesn't show up here. Visible or invisible. Nothing that exists that doesn't show up here. You, I, and everything else in between. On the tree of life, above, so to learn about the bookends, we've got to look at we get to employ a very familiar esoteric principle: as above, so below. Above is symbolized by the, we did this already, didn't we? No, we didn't. We didn't? Okay, I'll talk about it. We actually covered it. It represents all of creation, involution, and evolution. That is kind of important. How the living one has moved into creation, and what is happening with creation and its return to perfect unity with the one. 10 emanations, or in Hebrew, they're sephirot. Sephirot. One is sephirah, they're all sephirot. And it shows us from nothing or no thing to all things. From no thing to all things. So let's employ that maxim, shall we? As above, so below. How many of you heard of that one? As above, so below. As below, so above. That's a Hermetic principle. And it is represented on the tree of life, and the Eitz HaChaim, by 2 of those sephirot. The top one, Keter, which means crown. And the bottom one, Malkut, which means kingdom. What is Keter, or crown, represents all of everything, everything in this infinite universe and beyond, but not in its actualized form, not in its material form. It's the potential for everything. So the idea, the phrase in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun, that text is actually referring to this idea. Nothing new, because it's already there in Keter. Malkut, on the other hand, represents everything in form. Everything in form. So all that is in Keter is realized, placed into form in Malkut, and everything in Malkut has its representation, its plans and everything else, its potentiality in Keter. So in Kabbalah, we say Keter is in Malkut, and Malkut is in Keter, but after in a different way. Is that cool? All right, good. Yeah, we're working. So as above, so below. Now, again, just before the pandemic, I wrote these 2 songs. Let's explore the first one. So because for me, the songs were a bookend, talking about the same thing, but from 2 different perspectives. But it's now caused me to think, okay, well, let's look at the bookends as they show up on the Tree of Life, and what can we glean from that? So these are the lyrics of My One. My One, the song that you've already heard, is actually a song of devotion. It's a song of devotion to the living presence that supports and surrounds and mothers us. It is a song of devotion to the Shekhinah, which anyone familiar with that term? The Shekhinah is, in one way, the feminine aspect of the living one. The place of resting. The place of the presence itself. So when you sing, surely the presence of the Lord is in this place, that's actually referring to the Shekhinah. Yeah. And so this is a song of looking at, it's from the perspective of Malkut, from the perspective of form, and looking out into all of creation and realizing that we are completely and securely held. From the fading light of the evening to the growing glow of the day, I am perfectly held in your hands, my one. And as the sun ascends to its glory and beauty gives its rays, I stay surrounded, for in you I live, move, have my being. Do I love you? My one, I do. Because we can't help but fall in love when we contemplate the truth that we are always securely held, cared for from age to age. The second song, or the second musical bookend that you will hear in just a bit, is called The One Bottom, as in bottom. And this is speaking of the one, but from the perspective of from above to below, from the perspective of Keter, looking down, from the perspective of the macrocosm, observing the microcosm, all of creation. Check this. Heya. And Heya is a Native American term of spirit, calling in the spirit. It's used from tribe to tribe to tribe in rituals and dances to call in the spirit. Heya, I'm the one, the all in all. I'm the beauty of things, great and small. I'm the darkness, I am the light. Say that you see me there, and you're right. I'm the sight of your eyes as you blink, blink, blink. I'm the image in your mind as you think, think, think. I'm the multiverse, the nanoverse, in every verse, from the after the last, before the first, from age to age. There is no limit to the expression of the living one. None whatsoever. I am, the one, I am the I am, but Now, as a good teacher, it would be important for me to recognize that there may be questions. So, how much time do we have, by the way? About 5 minutes?
You get about 5 more minutes.
I knew it, yay! So, if you have a question that is pressing, I mean, you just got to know that, feel free to ask it. We're just about ready to close, though. So, what is between the bookmarks?
Everything.
You and I. In this particular version of the Tree of Life, you see that it is superimposed upon the top of the form of a human person. Because what makes the difference in all of creation is what we choose. You see, the Tree of Life also represents the macrocosm and the microcosm. Macrocosm being the grand universe, everything, and the microcosm being the smaller universe within. It is inwardly infinite, whereas the macrocosm is outwardly infinite. Now, when we talk about infinite universe, remember, Keter is the potential of everything. It's not until you get to the last sphere that you have form. Most of what is true and real is not visible. So when we talk about being a positive influence in the world, when we talk about raising the vibration of the planet, it's the things that you can't really see that make the difference. Cause precedes form. We, by virtue of the fact that we're made in the image and likeness of the Elohim, as it says in the Bible. In Jewish scripture, it says the Elohim, the strong ones. We're made in that image and likeness, which means you and I have the power of creation in our mind, our emotions, our words, our actions. I mean, for crying out loud, look at the place. This is all the result of someone's imagination. Everything that we've created here. So what is between the bookends? You and I, making little choices every day. Choices like the homework I'm going to assign you. Every day, I invite you. And in the Jewish mind, day is evening to morning. Every day, know the one. Which means join up mentally. Join up mentally with the supreme power. Spend time in meditation and contemplation, in study. What is there to know of this one? Know the one. Every day. Also be the one. And a simple practice for that would be as this. Tap yourself on the breastbone. I'll do it figuratively. I got a mic here. Pop, 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 pop. and say, the one. The one. The one. As me, I'm the one. The one. Yeah? And then finally, see the one. As you go throughout your day, make a conscious effort to see the living one everywhere and in everything. Now, Lori and I have a little fun with it sometimes. We're walking around the neighborhood, taking getting that exercise in, because, you can't stay this cute by
Sitting on the couch.
Yeah, sitting on the couch, yeah. Except during baseball season, that's very important. Okay. But as you're walking around, point at something. Say, bottom. Bottom. I mean, anything. Anyone? Well, don't point at people, because they might have a word about that. What you calling me? Bottom? No. Bottom. Literally everything. I go to war with houseflies. I don't know anybody else who does. No, actually, it's spiritual work. I think that houseflies come into my presence in order to be, to leave this form and come back as, a puppy dog or something. But
Step in your carnation.
Exactly, upgrading the incarnation. Right. So I see a fly. I gotta say, bottom. Because if the living one is not present in that fly, can it possibly be the living one? Can it really be the all? Can it be the infinite, the omnipotent, the omniscient? You get what I'm saying here? There is nothing in form that does not come from that one presence. Now, not everything in form is for me. There are some things in form that I need to leave alone. But then there are some things in form that should have nothing to do with me. Everything in perfect balance, perfect equilibrium. That's also something that's demonstrated by the Tree of Life. Again, so much to tell you. So these three practices will help you to keep in mind what is truly between the bookmarks, and to help raise the vibration of this planet, one person being me, you, at a time. Cool? Cool. And now, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging in with this, not the preachery type, but I love doing this. Oh, I love teaching. I love teaching this stuff. So there's a whole lot more. Were there any questions? Quick question before we sing.
What does badum mean?
Badum?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. To this day, I'm not quite sure how that came through. I'm playing the guitar, because it's a guitar-based song, and I'm singing such a word, and that was the word that came through. It's almost like, badum. Or, yeah, well, that's the other bit, because I did feel it as a heartbeat. It's a heartbeat. Badum, 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 badum. Badum, badum, badum. So now, the one badum. Oh, do I stay here? Wait, where am I singing? I'm taking this, aren't I? Yes, I am. I shall. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah! Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. More the story than the storybook. Bottom, bottom. More the love than the loving book. Bottom, bottom. I'm the eye behind the sky, where kites and strings and kind birds fly. Bottom, 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 bottom. In the whisper trees of forest green. Bottom, bottom. In the desert flower unfolding. Bottom, bottom. On the dark and silent soil sleep, from seed emerging, reaching deep. Bottom, 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 bottom. I am the I am, the one, the one. I am the I am. Eh, eh, eh. I am the I am. Bottom, 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 bottom. In the sweetness of your lover's kiss. Bottom, bottom. When they say I love you more than this, bottom, bottom. I'm the autumn, I'm the spring, the birds and seasons songs they sing, bottom, 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 bottom. Hey, I am the one, the one. I am the I am. I am the I am, the one. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, bottom, bottom. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Hey, oh, hey, ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Hey, I'm the one, the all in all. I'm the beauty of things great and small. I am the darkness, I am the light. Say that you see me there and you're right. I'm the sight of your eyes as you blink, blink, blink. I'm the image in your mind as you think, think, think. I'm the multiverse, the nanoverse in every verse after the last, before the first, from age to age. I am the I am, the one, the one. I am the I am. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. I am the I am, the one. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Bottom, bottom. More the story than the storybook. Bottom, bottom. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. More the love than the loving look. Bottom, bottom. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Bottom, ba-da-da-da-dum. Bottom, bottom. Le'olam. I did. Excuse me. How's your back, by the way?
There you go.
Thank you so much. Lovely. So now is the time in our service